Are you tired of reading headlines about toxic workplaces ruled by unchecked power? Well, you are not alone. Rise and shine, leaders. This is Glen, Guyton, your cultural futurist, equipping organizations with effective strategies to foster a culture of innovation, reduce workplace stress, and elevate team performance. Well, it's time for our executive coffee break. I've got my beverage in hand. I hope you have yours too. They say you can't choose your family, but you can choose your workplace culture and your beverage. Leadership matters, so you might as well get good at it. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Today, we are diving into a tough but necessary topic: holding abusive leaders accountable. Leadership isn't just about steering the ship. It's about ensuring that everyone is on board and that they're respected, valued, and heard. So today I want to give you 4 strategies for accountability to ensure that you have accountability in your workplace so that this toxic environment won't raise its ugly head. You know, there's one thing that I hate, and that's bad leadership. And something that I hate even more are jerks. Yes, leaders that are jerks, that take advantage of people, that abuse their power. It really hurts my heart, and it makes me angry. And it's sad that we have so many workplaces where bad behavior is tolerated, where bad behavior is rewarded. And you know that in the long term, unchecked power will have unfortunate results in the workplace. I mean, we've seen it time and time and time again, the tragic downfalls of companies that operate without integrity. Sure, you can be a jerk for a little bit and it may pay off, and we seem to promote people and move them around, and they leave toxicity in their wake. But we don't want to do that. We want to have companies that thrive, that drive innovation and promote growth the right way. So here are 4 strategies for accountability that I'm going to share with you today during our time together. But number 1, we need transparent reporting mechanisms. Implement clear, confidential channels through which employees can report inappropriate behavior without fear of retaliation. And it's crucial that these mechanisms are trusted by the team. And so we want to make sure people feel comfortable coming forward. That's essential if we are going to avoid toxic behavior in the workplace. Number 2, make sure you have regular training and awareness programs. Foster an environment where respect and empathy are part of the ongoing training for all employees, especially leaders. You hear what I'm saying? Especially leaders. Sometimes if you say things, people get it. And most leaders aren't toxic. Most leaders aren't jerks. Most people aren't there to do you harm. Sometimes we just need to be reminded of what appropriate behavior is, because oftentimes what we see is bad behavior being pushed over and over and over and over again. And so people think that's the way to get ahead. But if you have regular trainings that create awareness, then you start setting the appropriate culture in the workplace. These programs should cover topics like emotional intelligence, inclusivity, and the impact of abusive behavior on individuals and the organizations. I've seen it too many times where bad behavior was rewarded, and you just create this locker room type culture where people are afraid to speak out, and people just expect bad behavior to continue. You need to change that. And sometimes people have to understand that they can do damage even without intending to do harm. That's why education is so important in changing the culture. You have to set expectations if you want people to deliver the proper results. Number 3, performance reviews that include feedback on leadership style, integrate 360-degree feedback into performance evaluation for leaders at all times. This approach provides a more rounded view of how a leader's behavior affects the team. And I've also talked in the past about continuous feedback loops. Make sure you check out some of my past videos on communicating in the workplace. I did a segment on Gen Z, but again, this applies to everyone, these continuous feedback loops. Number 4, clear consequences and remediation pathways. Establish and enforce a zero tolerance policy for abusive behavior. Outline the consequences and provide a pathway for remediation. People can improve, people can get better. Sometimes people don't do things intentionally, but they need to be held accountable. Helping leaders to correct their behavior and align with the organizational values. It's important that we help people to correct bad behavior. Zero tolerance doesn't mean that we don't rehabilitate people. Now, there are times when people just need to go, and you need to figure out what those things are, and you need to outline them clearly in your manual of consequences. There are some behaviors that are intolerable, and people need to be dismissed for those things. So have clear policies, outline these things so everyone knows what the expectations are. Just a few practical things before we get ready to close that I want to share with you. 3 things that I think will be helpful as you go about creating this culture where people feel welcomed, where people feel like they belong, where people can speak up. But number one thing that you can do is have scenario simulations. Conduct workshops where leaders are placed in scenarios that challenge them to handle situations without resorting to toxic behaviors. Use these simulations as teaching moments. Practice it. Practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. So go through the scenarios, talk through the scenarios, and help people understand what appropriate behavior is. Number 2, mentorship programs. Pair younger or less experienced leaders with seasoned mentors who exemplify respectful and effective leadership styles. This one-on-one guidance can help mold accountable leaders. And so if you want to create the culture or recreate good behavior, pair leaders with less power or younger leaders with experienced, trusted leaders who are doing it right. Number 3, regular reflection and feedback sessions. Encourage leaders to regularly reflect on their behavior and seek feedback from peers and subordinates. This can be facilitated through anonymous surveys or even open forum discussions. So get out there, create the culture that you want. Make sure you practice these things. Check out these tips, see which will work best for your workplace. As we close, let's not forget, better leaders get better results. So to every one of you leading the charge for a more supportive and engaging workplace, I leave you with this. Stay bold, stay inspired, and remember that your actions today shape the culture of tomorrow. My name is Glen Guyton. You all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.